In section 5, we're going to be using the solver to find maximum points and minimum points. It's called optimization for a function. The first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have access to the solver. It's an Excel add-in that's included with the full version of Excel, but you have to enable it. So on a PC, you go to File, go down to Options, then Add-ins, and under Excel add-ins, you have to click the Go button. And there it is, the solver add-in. Just click it and it will be enabled and it will show up here in my data tab. So now I have forecast with my goal seek from before, but now I also have the solver. First, we're given a formula, x squared minus 8x plus 7, and an interval from 0 to 10. So I'm going to set up a little grapher with the left endpoint at 0, a right endpoint at 10. And then the number of points, I'm going to choose to do 40 points. I think that's plenty. You can do more or less as you like. And then the step would be that you take the right endpoint, subtract the left endpoint, divided by the number of points that you want to have. You should step by 0.25. So then for your x value, you're going to start at the left endpoint. And then for your next x, you're going to take your previous x and add on the step. Make sure you make an absolute reference with the dollar signs for that step. And then you can copy that formula down. And any of these numbers is taking the previous number and adding on the step. And if I copy that down until I get to 10, that should be 40 points. And then my formula is x squared minus 8 times get the x value plus 7. Copy that down. And then I want to make a graph so I can get a look at this function. Helps me know where to look for maximum and minimum values. Let me move this up here a ways. Yeah, and the markers are a little bit big. So with a right click, you can format the data series, or the other way to get to that, just for reference, is with your graph selected. You have chart design and then go to format, current selection, format the selection. And now I'm back to format the data series. Under the fill bucket, there's marker options, and you can use a built-in marker, but change the size so that it's not so bulky. There we go. Looks a little bit better. Okay, so first, the graph looks the most like graph number 1. That's letter A. Find any roots for the function separated by commas. Let me put some insert and shift down. I want root 1 and root 2. I'll put in a guess of 1.5. And then for the formula, I want to come and copy the formula, paste it in. So it's still using the same formula I had in the problem based off the cell to the left. And then I can pull up solver. Okay, then with the solver looks a lot like GoalSeek, but it has more capabilities. So we're going to use this instead of GoalSeek in this section. You can find a maximum, a minimum, or the value of. So I'm going to set my objective, which is this f of x cell, to click on value of 0 is okay by changing the x value and then hit solve. And notice that it went to scientific notation again. If I widen that out and let me change the format. You can see that it's close to 0, not exactly 0, and this x value. Excel can get within 3 decimal places. For the second root, it looks like it's somewhere over here around 7. I'm just going to copy this formula for f of x all the way down. My second root, let me put in, I don't know, 7.3. And then I'll do another solver. So data, solver, set cell. I'm on row 16 this time to a value of 0 by changing the cell on row 16, the x value. Hit solve. Give me 6.999, so essentially 7. It looks like my roots are at 1 and 7. Find the relative maxima and relative minima for the function. So a relative maximum or a local maximum means that it's the highest thing in its area. So there's one local maximum here at 0. Let's go ahead and put those in. My left endpoint's at 0. My right endpoint is at 10. And the formula is picking up those values. And then local minimum is somewhere around 4. Let me put in 3.5. And then pull up the solver. For this value, the local minimum, we want to set the objective function. So let me click on this. So I go to row 19 here. 2. I don't want a value of. Now I want smallest. By changing the cell that that formula is based off of, and hit solve. And it says essentially 4. So the local minimum occurs at 4, local maximum at the left endpoint, and again at the right endpoint, which was at 10. Absolute maximum and minimum of the function. The absolute maximum is where does the highest value occur? We can see it on the graph. It occurs when the x value is 10. The absolute minimum occurs when the x value is 4, and we can see that on the graph. We can also see it in these values over here.